had the unfortunate experience recently of flying into or out of LaGuardia? I'm so sorry. If you've had that experience, you may have encountered a bit of salvation from our friends at Jabbrrbox. I'm very, very happy to introduce the CEO of Jabbrrbox, Jeremy.
Well, first and foremost, thank you for flying into LaGuardia, and thank you more if you've used the Jabbrrbox. So I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to talk to you about a few different things that we all face. Workplace distraction. Last year, US companies accounted $600 billion in costs associated with workplace distraction. That's a lot of money, and that's only inside the office. Think about what it is outside the office. True story, case in point. I was coming out of the subway and got pinged for an important call. My first thought was, where do I go? Well, yeah, I could take it on the street, but after the first siren passed, I realized that probably wasn't a great call. I jumped into a building lobby. Excuse me, sir, this lobby space is only for guests, visitors, and tenants. Can you please leave? I ran into a Starbucks expecting to be able to take a call. It was loud, crowded, music pumping, coffee beans grinding. Where could I go? I ended up taking the call, walking around Dwayne Reed, pretending to look at merchandise while on the phone with a client. Technology has given us the ability and the tools to work where, when, and how we want. However, an unintended consequence is that there's simply nowhere to go. A privacy crisis is occurring. No one has solved it until now. Hi, my name is Jeremy Jennings, co-founder of Jabbrrbox. We are creating a global ecosystem of on-demand, reservable, conveniently located spaces in loud and busy environments. You kind of think of us like Zipcar for space. Shared economy, on demand, and we really cater to mobile workers. I am a mobile worker, like many of you. A mobile worker is defined as someone that works outside their home office or corporate office for 10 hours a week. We can do this because we have the tools to do it. We have a laptop for our big stuff, a phone, AKA supercomputer, for our quick stuff, and our earbuds for our sensitive stuff. The one missing ingredient from that toolbox of productivity, a user-controlled space. What if finding and reserving your own personal space was as easy as hailing an Uber? Now it is. With our app and technology, it's as simple as search, reserve, unlock. Let me show you the space. This is where you're going to go to get into the zone. This is where you're going to find your quiet, private, connected space. This is your Jabbrrbox. Within the Jabbrrbox, a suite of amenities. There's a 24-inch touchscreen, camera, speaker, microphone, super fast encrypted Wi-Fi, basically anything that a mobile worker would need. And guess what? There's a lot of mobile workers out there. In fact, in New York City, there's 4 million mobile workers every day. If we step back a little bit and look at the US, that's 105 million mobile workers. Globally, a whopping 1.8 billion mobile workers. And guess what? That's not going down, that's only increasing. That's 45% of the global workforce. If you remember that $600 billion statistic that I said earlier, if you apply the same calculation, the same methodology, we're looking at a $2.6 million market in the US alone accounting for mobility. It is massive. So how are we creating a global ecosystem? Glad you asked. Let me tell you. First, we had to build the vessel. So when we surveyed the market, there was nothing that was intended for public space. Everyone probably has a phone booth, right? You have a phone booth in your office. There's lots of them out there. Even WeWork has phone booths. But imagine taking that wooden pod with a plexiglass door and sticking it in the middle of Grand Central Station. I promise you it would not end well. So we set out to design, engineer, and build our privacy solution. And that privacy solution was fantastic. In fact, it was so fantastic, we were sought out to solve for privacy within commercial office. We've driven over $3 million in revenue in the last 2 years with clients like this. Step 2, build a consumer service. The LaGuardia people in the audience might know this. This is our first activation at LaGuardia. When we take our unique vessel and add in our proprietary technology, we unlock Jabbrrbox as a service. In this space, we are a consumer service. We charge $30 an hour in increments of 15 minutes up to 2 hours. We're live today in 3 airports. We have a 4th airport going live on Friday, JFK. And we'll have 25 airports by the end of the year. The airport network is alive and thriving. The third step, there's an old adage in real estate, which you guys have heard all the time, location, location, location. It couldn't be more true for us. In order to be ubiquitous with on-demand space, in order to be part of your daily routine, we need to be where you need us, when you need us. That means building out markets in urban cities. This year, we're focusing on 3 markets: New York, San Francisco, and Chicago. We'll be in commercial building lobbies, like you see here. This is actually Chicago Merchandise Mart, a Vornado building where we are a tenant amenity. Tenants use us for free, and visitors pay by the hour. So our users love us, and they tell us this every day. My favorite quote actually from a user is, "Superman had a phone booth, I have a Jabbrrbox." Of course, none of this would be possible without a strong founding team and advisor. Brian Hackathorn, former principal of Studios Architecture here in New York, spent his professional career thinking about and designing how people worked within the 4 walls, within the office, and was the first to see how you might work outside of the office. Andrew Southern has built large control systems for entities like Related, the Viceroy Hotel Group, amongst others. And I have built brands and businesses across segment in both public and private companies. We are guided by the former CEO of Starwood Hotel Group and the current chairman of Convene. Now I have one last question for you. How much is your time worth? Thank you.